Welcome back to Serenity Firearms. I was doing some stippling work on a Sig Sauer P250 of mine, and I figured I'd go ahead and throw a review up on it. The model I have is a full-size 9mm, carry 17 plus 1, and it was actually produced from 2007 until 2017. It did go through some changes in 2009 to 2010. Basically, they came out with a second generation of it, which is what this is. They added a full-blown Picatinny rail to it and did a few minor modifications. This, like the P320, is a modular design. Alright, you can actually pick it up in 9mm, 357 Sig, 40 cal, 45. Believe you can also get it in 380, and then of course there is a 22 model. You can also pick up conversion kits for this. They start off running about $400 for the kits, so you can take your full-size 250 and you can pull the trigger assembly out and you can put it into a carry size frame, a compact frame, or a subcompact frame. Right? This is the hammer-fired version. Right? In 2014, Sig released the P320, which is basically the striker version of this firearm. Many people know about it. It's now the sidearm for the U.S. Army. And because of that, because of the both of them being modular designs and the P320 having been designed off of this, many of the parts are actually interchangeable. For instance, the magazines are interchangeable. So I can grab a P320 and I can use the same magazines I use for this in it. Right? The frames are also basically identical. The only drawback to this particular sidearm is that there is no external safety to it. And of course, it is a double action, so you do have the full trigger pull every single time to make it fire. Right? Disassembly is rather simple. Alright, I'm not going to completely tear it down, but like I said, this entire housing right here pops out and you can put it into a smaller frame. And like I said, it's actually a very reliable pistol. It's one of my favorites. I've had it since, I believe, 2010, might have been 2011, but and it's one of those that I just won't get rid of, especially now that, you know, the Army is actually carrying the P320. It's a very popular sidearm for people to pick up. I keep saying I'm going to end up buying a P320 just for the sake of having the interchangeable magazines. I have not actually done that yet. The last few sidearms I've picked up were Glocks. So, but as I said, I won't get rid of it. And I have not actually picked up any of the conversion kits for it either. It's just, but if you wanted to, you can. The 9mm version in full size carries 17 rounds. The 357 Sig and the 40 carry 14, and the 45 in a full size carries 10. The compact version, the 9mm carries 15 rounds, 40 cal carries 13, and the 45 carries 9. The subcompact, the 9mm would carry 12 rounds, the 40 would carry 10, and the 45 would carry 6. Like I said, it's a great firearm. It's not old enough that you'll have issues finding used versions. You may even still find a couple sitting in store shelves that are actually new, depending on how many, you know, were still sitting in the distribution centers. But like I said, I enjoy this. This particular sidearm has had quite a few rounds put through it. I don't have an exact count, but I've been to the range a lot with this. I used to carry it exclusively just because I knew it would fire when I needed it to. A lot of people don't like the double action. I don't mind. You know, it is what it is. But it did come with the 3-dot sights on it, stock. Those are not aftermarket. The only drawback to it was that the grip and stippling on the grip was very light. So I deepened the stippling that came with it, and then I also added stippling on both sides for trigger finger and thumb, and then I also added some up here for my offhand. But like I said, it's easy to operate, it's easy to clean, and with the popularity of the P320, it's an excellent sidearm to pick up if you yourself own a 320. It's more simple than the striker fired, and with the interchangeability of parts, I would recommend it. It's a great sidearm, and I know that the P320s have been having quite a few issues since they were released. Everything from light primer strikes to them going off on their own if dropped. This one I've never had issues with. I mean, outside of ammunition-based issues, misfires, but the firearm itself is very reliable. And that way, for those of you, if you picked up a P320 and you have had issues with it, but you say you picked up a bunch of extra mags or whatever, this would be an option where you could put all those aftermarket purchases back into use. Even the frames are nearly identical between the 250 and the 320. So I mean, even if you say bought conversion kits for the 320, those could be put to use with the 250. But like I said, it's a great firearm. This was kind of an impromptu video. I have a few other videos I'm planning on making. In particular, I've got one I'm going to be doing here shortly on the Tikka T3 Compact Tactical chambered in 308. It's one of my favorite rifles. And then I'm also planning on doing a video on the tools needed for basic gun repair, gun maintenance, gunsmithing. I haven't really worked very hard toward that video yet, but that is in the works, kind of. It's at least been on my mind. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, push like, subscribe, and I look forward to posting some more for y'all. Also, feel free to comment, and if you have any questions, any ideas for other videos, I guess y'all have a good day.